KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And Wyoming Sports Talk Today is being brought to you by Mars Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue. Get those heating units looked at, fixed, or just repaired altogether. Mars Plumbing and Heating will do that for you right now. Or maybe you just need some filters. They'll do that for you as well. Mars Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue. Mondello's Pizzeria, delicious paisan cuisine prepared by Joe and Caesar and the whole gang 7 days a week over at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. First Tier Bank across the street at 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Tim and his great staff invite you to come on by. Check out their special CD rates right now with annual percentage yields that are pretty doggone good. First Tier Bank open Monday through Friday. Lennox Auto Body ×2, the main repair center over on Dunn Avenue with a plethora of bays, and of course they have the Auto Glass and Detail Center located on Pershing Boulevard. Medicap Pharmacy, for all your pharmaceutical needs with your doctor's prescription. Let Gene and his great staff fill those set prescriptions, explain the medications to you, and again, remember, wait time, very little. Pick it up inside or go through the convenient drive-thru on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Platte Valley Bank, 2 banking locations on Vanda High, and of course over on the east side at the corner of College and Pershing. Again, Platte Valley Bank, banking with customer service, you and me always in mind, and again, up to date with technology as well. Platte Valley Bank ×2. Kia of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. Nick was over there earlier today. I was too. Some good-looking 18s on a lot need to go, but the 19s are here too. So your choice. You want to do an 18 or 19, Kia of Cheyenne can fit the bill for you over on Nation
And go
Way.
there for their service as well, too. I mean, that's why I was there. Again, I just need to get the car winterized, essentially. I'm not prepared for snow.
Chick-fil-A is over at the corner of Windmill and Del Range. And again, Ray and Sydney and the wonderful staff over there invite you to come on by for 3 squares beginning 6 o'clock in the morning. You can have delicious breakfast, including their hash brown scramblable. Then you can go back for lunch, chicken sandwich and waffle fries.
Or how about what we saw over here when they were driving by, they cater too.
That's right. I must mention that they cater.
Yeah.
CheyenneChicken.com. Check out everything that Chick-fil-A offers. Chick-fil-A corner, Windmill, Del Range, right across from Menards. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service having one hail of a sale right now. And if you are a fan of Jayco, because they specialize in Jayco products, fifth wheels, RVs, travel trailers, you're going to find good deals always, and even special deals during their hail of a sale. And, of course, we want to thank Taco John's. Oh, by the way, Jolly Rogers on Highway 30. Taco John's of Cheyenne. Yesterday, it was Tuesday. I know everybody's clocks were off a little bit because of the holiday. Today, check out their 3 for $5 walking tacos. They're 6-pack and a pound. Their loaded potato olays and so much more. Taco John's of Cheyenne. And we get things underway. It's going to be a very abbreviated scoreboard. Just some things that are going to be going on. And here's Nick with most of the stuff.
I was going to say nothing on my end. We have NHL action for tonight. 3 games only, though. It's pretty of a light day on all sides. But Ottawa Senators will play host to the Philadelphia Flyers. This game will be at around 5 o'clock, at least 5:30 there in Ottawa. Washington Capitals. This game you can see on ABC Sports Network. The Washington Caps. It will be a rematch of the Stanley Cup Finals as Vegas in the Capital One Arena taking on the Caps. That game will get underway at 7 o'clock. And then also, too, this is a little tough on my end, but the Anaheim Ducks, who are 3-0 this season, they're at Honda Center hosting the Arizona Coyotes. That game will get underway at 8 o'clock tonight.
Why is that tough on you? I thought you were a Ducks fan.
I'm just saying, again, you have Vegas on 1, Anaheim. Anaheim's my number 1. Vegas is always number 2, but again, they're both playing. There's a little 2-hour time difference, but it might bleed into each other, but who knows. Also, too, do want to remind folks again, at least for the LCCC men's and women's soccer contest for tonight, up in Gillette has been rescheduled to next Monday, again, due to weather around, or at least up there in Campbell County, but we're feeling the effects down here in the Cap City. So I just want to remind folks again, those games are set for Monday, October 15th. Women will play at 11 a.m. and men will play at 1 p.m. And then on top of everything, coming up this Friday, we will be live at Cheyenne South for the first time this season, as we will see the Fighting Bison hosts the Campbell County Camels. It will be a battle, playoff hopes for both teams, at least for Cheyenne South. It is, I will say, a must-win. Game time, at least kickoff, 6 o'clock, 5:30-ish pregame show here on 1480 AM, 101.1 FM, 1480krae.com, and video live streaming, as always, on Periscope and the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel.
Well, the way you've been whining today between Gillette and LCCC, it should be bobsledding and Nordic skiing. You make it sound like it's still awful out
It's
there.
barely October and it's snowing. Are you kidding me?
Oh, wow. Tell somebody who cares.
It just became 70 in Vegas.
Hey, the only thing I've got to talk about, since there's no baseball tonight, Friday will be the Brewers and the Dodgers getting underway. That's
yeah, but that's Friday. Today is Wednesday.
Yeah,
so
you know, so today's Thursday.
Today's Wednesday. How
Tomorrow's
about
Thursday. That's
there
right.
you go.
Anyway, we got basketball, preseason basketball. Who cares? They're making such a big deal out of this. We're going to probably see maybe the Warriors, the front line, maybe out for a half, and you're going to see LeBron maybe a quarter. But they're making such a big deal. It's Golden State and the Lakers tonight in Las Vegas on ESPN. I care.
Whoop-de-doo.
So, again, our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand. So find the store already, grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-thru window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-thru window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company invites you to join them and many others for the second annual Fall Halloween Festival Farmers and Crafters Market. It's Saturday, October 20th from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. The entry fee is only $5 per carload, so load up the family. Enjoy a full day of fun, including hay rides, crafts for kids, face painting and tattoos, balloons. So make sure the kids wear their costumes to this event as well. You can also pick out your favorite pumpkin and buy strong corn stalks. Plus, inside you'll find fall and Halloween gift items. Most importantly, visit the many vendors and crafters and check out everything that they'll have to offer. Hungry? Don't worry about that. Riverbend will have plenty of food trucks available to suffice the heartiest of appetites. We'll see you Saturday, October 20th at family-owned and operated Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company for the second annual Fall Halloween Festival Farmers and Crafters Market on North Yellowstone Road in Cheyenne. For more information, please call 638-0147.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be cloudy with snow likely throughout the day with highs around 33. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with snow likely throughout the evening with lows around 24. On Thursday, it'll continue to be mostly cloudy with rain showers likely with highs around 42. And on Thursday night, it'll be more of the same with mostly cloudy skies with lows around 28.
Fat, lazy, and stupid is no way to conduct a sports talk radio show. We've thrown down the gauntlet, upped the stakes, and made it clear that when it comes to sports talk radio in Cheyenne, there's a new player in town. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. It's cloudy, it's snowing, on and off. And when I think of that, I think rodeo. No, actually, we got a very special event coming up, and we always have it come up at this time of year, and we're going to talk more about that in a little bit. But it's nice to bring on first-year head coach, and it's nice to say that too. First-year head coach Seth Glause, who is the LCCC rodeo coach, and Coach, thank you again for coming on board. Like I said, we got a few things to talk about, but as you again. When we had you on before, it's not so much that you're settling the position, been there, did it, done it, but how things are developing and running for you right now.
Yeah, the kids are doing great. They've been really consistent so far this year. We've been practicing hard, and they're doing everything we ask them to do and getting to the rodeos and making it happen. one thing, and Nick said something, and not that I'm going to dwell on it, but when we've had nice fall, now, a late summer and good fall weather, and all of a sudden we get this cold spell come in. Animals are like humans to a certain degree, but again, what precautions do you take when weather turns, some 40 different degrees? Yeah, so we got all the water heaters turned on, so we make sure their waters stay thawed out, give them a little bit extra hay, grain, and just keep a close eye on them, make sure everybody's horses, the cows, calves, bulls, everything's doing well.
Not to bring up bad memories, though, but again, addressing for what happened last season, especially around this point in time where, again, the Sean Doobie Memorial Rodeo had to be moved due to at least illnesses, a little bug that happened there at the LCCC ranks, but just keep it short and sweet there, Seth. Animals doing fine, healthy, at least for this rodeo as of right now?
Yeah, we haven't had any problems this year. Everything's been going pretty well. Everybody's horses are healthy, and don't see anything upcoming that's catastrophic or going to hinder us having our event.
It's been happening more to the humans than the animals, and that's a good thing if it's the humans. Real quick, Seth, let's talk about the season to date before the Sean Doobie. And again, we think about we look at soccer's going on. We know the basketball teams are getting ready, volleyball's in action, but again, there's sports going on with rodeo at LCCC. Tell us a little bit how your season's been.
Yeah, it's going good. I think we're 6th right now in the region. We've been really consistent. We've had a couple wins in the Calf Open, a couple wins in the Breakaway Open. Everybody's roping tough. We just haven't had our breakout rodeo yet. I think it's just, capitalizing on a few other opportunities in the short round, and our names are going to be right up there with UW. Sheridan.
LCCC rodeo coach Seth Glause joining us here on our Wyoming Sports Talk Today program.
Wanted to key on at least maybe a breakout rodeo coming up possibly this weekend. Again, you guys been on the road at least competing up in Chadron State, along with also to Sheridan College, but now back here in LCCC at the LCCC Arena with the Sean Doobie Memorial Rodeo. Again, happening this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, where you can also, tickets can be purchased at the door for $10. Also, too, for military seniors and youth 11 to 17, $5, and then students of LCCC and children 10 and younger are free, at least admissions, there to go see this rodeo. But this, from my understanding, especially of years being around LCCC, knowing about how prestigious this rodeo is here in town, that it's very successful for these LCCC athletes. But for you as a head coach, what is this? What does it mean being at least at your home arena?
Yeah, it's kind of like having a home field advantage. We practice in the arena every day. I expect huge things from our athletes this weekend. I really think we're going to come in here and take care of business and come out of here with a win.
Seth, you mentioned practicing, and again, I know we talked about this before, and we talked about off-season, you know, with what your young athletes get to do with their animals, you know, prior to coming back to LCCC. But tell us a little bit, when you say practice, what are they working on? What are you teaching the student athletes?
Yeah, I mean, right now, today they're practicing breakaway roping, barrel racing, and team roping. You know, it's just taking in the time events, it's taking good shots that allow you to be able to set yourself up for success. Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't realize. Yeah, continue on, Seth. I didn't.
Oh no, we're good. You know, I want the students to put themselves in the position to be the best athlete that they can be, and you know, whether it's coming in, working hard, working on better head catches, you know, roping feet, tying better, whatever it is, we're working on it and giving everybody the opportunity to be successful.
What other school or what schools will we be seeing at this rodeo? For instance, again, LCCC obviously will be there, but will we see Bo Clark's crew from UW come on over? Who are we going to see competing at this event?
All the schools in the Central Rocky Mountain region, which will be Sheridan, Gillette, Casper, UW, Chadron, Colorado State, Otero, Lamar, us, and I'm sure I'm forgetting one or two, but got everybody in the.
There's going to be a lot of trailers out there.
Yes,
when
sir.
you get out to LCCC this weekend.
I wonder if we could put up a challenge flag, because again, Bo Clark knows that arena, and he's bringing over again that home field advantage. He knows what's, you know, maybe there's a little dip in the soil here at that edge.
Let me ask you this, though, Seth. What is there time differences for an indoor as opposed to an outdoor arena? Again, is it faster indoors, or what would you think?
You know, sometimes cows run a little harder outside, the steers and calves, but inside, you know, the score will be similar to what it's been, so you'll see close to the same times, same score.
And the reason I said that, because, and I'm glad you mentioned that, especially with cattle, light. You know, it's a little more dimly lit indoors than it is outdoors in sunlight. Do they have different reactions when the gates open?
You know, most of the cattle have all been around, so they know the game. But I think you see a lot of similarities.
Who's providing the stock?
Summit Pro Rodeo out of Laramie is providing the rough stock, and then Gum Ropings out of Nebraska is providing the timed event cattle.
So we that know the rodeo game with your student athletes, and again, we appreciate, we got a couple of them out here sitting, getting ready to come in and talk, but some of the events that we definitely want to keep our eye on concerning LCCC this year.
The calf rope and bronc riding and the team roping are really our strong points right now. On the girls' side, the breakaway, they're solid in that. So it's been fun to watch them come into the arena and work and see it transition over into the competitions.
Then I want to go to the barrel racing competition. I'm a fan of that, and matter of fact, when I was doing Frontier Days, I really liked doing the young men and women in the junior barrel program. But again, going back to indoor outdoor, isn't it a little faster indoors on the barrel racing?
Yeah, I mean, Frontier Days is a very unique arena and very unique pattern. It's a lot bigger than most, and you know, so obviously the times will be a lot faster inside than they are there in Cheyenne.
All righty. Well, again, Seth, we want to mention the times again. I know you mentioned it with ticket, but I want to hear it straight from the coach's mouth when we want you out there for the and what year is this? Gosh, we've been doing the Sean Doobie for many years now.
Yeah, it's been going on for quite a while. I know Sean passed away in 1989, and I think they've done the rodeo every year since then.
Yeah, because I got here in '86, and I remember when that first got underway. So again, we're getting almost approaching 30 years with this absolutely fabulous rodeo, and again, days that we got it going on.
For sure. Friday night's Military Appreciation Night. It's free to all veterans, and we do a very big American flag presentation. We're real excited about that. So the performance is at 7 on Friday, 7 on Saturday, and 11 a.m. on Sunday.
All right, LCCC head coach Seth Glause joining us here.
Also, too, want to thank the man as well, too. He did provide us as well tickets for at least all 3 days. I do believe here, yes, we do have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to give away at least to our listeners, and also, too, we might promote on the social media sites. Again, to go check out the Sean Doobie Memorial Rodeo coming up this weekend. Again, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Coach, all the best to you and your team. Thank you for coming in. Matter of fact, appreciate the coach bringing a couple of his student athletes by. We're going to talk with Laramei Bain coming up after these words right here on 1480 KRAE.
For 56 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Also with KYY FM, we are Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM/FM combo radio stations. Add that to the addition of 3 FM radio translators to serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYY, and that equals a lot of bang for your local advertising dollar. Radio, yesterday and today, still works. For more information, contact Larry Proetti at 307-637-0301.
Totally transformed, the new 2019 Kia Soul has an eye-catching exterior with an interior to match. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne, and the new 2019 Kia Soul has more to choose from, like available cool ventilated seats or heated seats for winter comfort. Kia Soul also has available technology like UVO, voice command navigation, automatic temperature control, and smart key with push-button start. Come by and compare Kia Soul today at Kia of Cheyenne or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
The message is simple. Drive sober or get pulled over. If you drink and drive, remember it's illegal and it can cost you your freedom or worse, your life. It's been determined that a blood alcohol content of 0.08% or more can impair you considerably when you are behind the wheel. Financially, it can devastate you if you get arrested. More importantly, it could result in losing a friend or a family member. That price is too high to pay. Call a designated driver after enjoying a night out and get home safe. Paid for by Federal Highway Safety Funds. Due to our stormy season this summer, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Rogers' already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to JollyRogersRV.com.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing! And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Larry Proetti, Nick Proetti, and cowgirl named Laramei Bain from Hershey, Nebraska. So, again, now that she's on Periscope.
It's almost like she was destined to be a part of it.
Oh, yeah, that's a cowgirl name if I ever heard one. Laramei, thank you so much for joining us and appreciate Coach Glause bringing both you and Bernie in. But real quick, let's ask you, what are you studying at LCCC?
I'm studying general education at LCCC.
Okay. And again, your freshman year, I'm assuming?
No, my sophomore year.
Your sophomore year. All right. Yep. So, and I gave you grief because even though it's not going to be seen on camera, you're in a walking boot. You got, so in the sport of rodeo, you could actually get hurt as well. Get a little closer to the microphone first, please.
Oh.
There you go. So tell us what happened on the injury there.
Oh, last week we had practice, and after practice I was just taking care of my horse, and it was a freak accident, and she just came down and stepped on my toe and broke my big toe. So
that's painful to think about.
Not a big deal.
Go figure. It's a sport. It's an athletic, and again,
imagine how we used to get when Tia, our dog, would her tail would hit us in the head. It's like, oh man, jeez, ow. So anyway, Laramei, real quick, tell us about what your event is, what your specialty is with the LCCC rodeo team.
With the LCCC rodeo team, I'm a breakaway roper. So it's a really tough event actually right now in our region. You have to be fast and you have to have good technique, and it's a great experience, and this weekend will be great. We're all super pumped.
Well, now for those that are not familiar with rodeo, and I'm going to throw him in the mix. I've had my share of rodeo through the years. Breakaway ropers, that means
Breakaway roping is you have a rope in your hand tied to your saddle horn with just a little string, and you have to catch the calf as fast as you can coming out of the box, and obviously fastest time winner. So
is there a difference between breakaway roping and just a regular calf roping?
Oh yeah, us girls, we don't have to quite get off our horses and tie the calf's legs, so we kind of get the easier end of the stick.
So how long have you been doing this at least?
Oh, I've been rodeoing ever since I was probably 5 years old, junior rodeo. So.
Are you from a ranching family?
Yep, I am. I have ranch background in my family, and.
So as you mentioned beforehand, again, you're coming at least from Hershey, Nebraska. What got you recruited out here, or what attracted you to come do rodeo for LCCC?
Well, my sisters lived here for 10 years, so there was kind of some persuasion in the family about coming out here. But I'm super glad I did. The facility is great here at LCCC, and it's one of the best in the regions, I believe, and the rodeo team was great also. It was just a great decision I made, and of course the program I was going into.
So let me ask you this question: as you move on to your junior and senior year, and obviously you have to leave the friendly confines of LCCC and move on, do they offer scholarships in rodeo?
Oh yes, they do. A lot of kids that are on the LCCC rodeo team have some sort of scholarship. If it's a full ride or some money, we are really athletic, and we want the greatest of the great to be here at LCCC.
So at least as you mentioned, it is your sophomore year, so unfortunately you're going to have to leave. But at least looking into the future for you, Laramie, are you looking to maybe continue on where, again, a former head coach, someone you might be familiar with, Bo Clark over at UW, are you looking to join that program? Are you looking to maybe do this as well too in a professional?
Or maybe head east.
Yeah, you never know. Head east, yeah, I don't know about that, but my options are still open right now at the moment, and kind of my major too. I kind of got to look into that. I am here to rodeo, but school too. So. And
then again too, we'd be remiss not to ask the question: does the professional ranks attract you a little bit? Because again, the ladies are doing so well these days, and I'm glad to see that the pay window is starting to pay some nice paychecks too.
Yes, definitely. I think the professional ranks is definitely what I'll look into for sure.
Anybody in the family on the pro circuit?
No, not. Well, like way back, my dad and uncles for sure, but.
All right. Well, we appreciate it. Laramie Bain joining us here on our program, and we wish you all the best. And again, as we want to talk about the Sean Dubin Memorial Rodeo, this will be your second one that you're participating in. And again, tell us, looking back on last year, as Nick mentioned, it had to get pushed back because of the sickness that went through the animals, and when everything was given the OK, we had this big event. But you know it as well as anybody, that arena gets filled up.
Oh, yeah. It'll be a great weekend. The team's pumped. We're ready to dominate and come out with a win. So everyone come out and watch. It'll be a great weekend.
Simple as that. Dominate, ready to win. You got to go tune in for this Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It must be that coach's tough practice schedule for him, right?
But also, too, it's indoors, so again, get out of the cold, out of the snow. It's as simple as that.
It's supposed to be nice this week. The sun's supposed to shine all weekend long. All right. Hey, Laramie, thank you so much. Good luck to you, and hopefully you'll be all ready to rock and roll by this weekend.
Thank you.
Laramie Bain. Hershey, Nebraska's own Laramie Bain, sophomore out of LCCC. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back, and we will talk with Bertie Gerard right here on 1480 KRAE.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Boys, this halftime score is not indicative of our talent level. We're a lot closer than I thought we'd be, and old coach has just the thing to get us over the hump. Street tacos from Taco John's. You can get them with chicken or new sirloin steak or pork carnitas. That's a triple option of awesomeness. Let's go get some.
Get 3 street tacos for just $5 at Taco John's.
Hustle up, boys. If we leave now, we can be back for the fourth quarter.
Olay the Day at Taco John's.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. They have a 16-month CD at an annual percentage yield of 2.33% and a 27-month CD at an APY of 2.74%. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. There are a lot of things that can go wrong with your vehicle, and most of it is a minor problem. And John at Shine Auto Repair and Service knows the right way to get you back on track. So with temperatures heading south, now's the perfect time to winterize your car or truck. This can be done with a simple oil change, maybe a tune-up, checking the thermostat, brakes, and shocks. It's the little and important repairs that Cars has performed on all makes of vehicles now for over 25 years to keep you motoring along in any season. For an appointment, call 632-0498 or stop on by at 604 West Lincoln Way. Shine Auto Repair and Service, open Monday through Friday.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be cloudy with snow likely throughout the day with highs around 33. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with snow likely throughout the evening with lows around 24. On Thursday, it'll continue to be mostly cloudy with rain showers likely with highs around 42. And on Thursday night, it'll be more of the same with mostly cloudy skies with lows around 28.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Well, welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Larry Peroletti, Nick Peroletti, and Coach calls him Bernie, but we're going to call him Bernard Gerard, and we appreciate him stepping on into LCCC rodeo performer.
Try saying that 10 times fast. You're not going to trip over that, right?
I may have a senior.
I
may have a senior moment.
That's why I just had to make sure.
So anyway, Bernard, real quick, thank you for joining us. Tell us real quick, LCCC, you are what year and what are you studying?
I'm a sophomore this year, and I'm studying natural science biology right now.
All right, so let's talk about the rodeos that you have been a part of to date. Prior to the Sean Doobie here, let's talk about some of those rodeos that happened during the season. Tell us a little bit what you gained from those rodeos as we head to the Sean Doobie Memorial.
You know, rodeo is just like any other sport. The more runs you get, the more shots you get up, just the better you're going to get. You know, I think everybody going to school and everybody in this region has a lot of talent, but I think the game's won with your mental toughness, and I think every time you get on the road and go to another rodeo, you just strengthen that part of it, and I think that's where this region's kind of strong for, and I think we'll see it this weekend at the Sean Doobie.
Not to use the old, at least terrible pun here, but it's certainly not Bernard's first rodeo with at least this experience. But as we talk with Laramei again, as a question that I'll ask you, she's been doing it since 5 years old. How about you? How long have you been a part of a rodeo?
I think I started junior rodeo when I was about 8 or 9 years old, I'd say. Old Mama Tony started hauling me around and just fell in love with it and been going ever since.
And we haven't asked where you're from?
Alliance, Nebraska.
Alliance, Nebraska. So again, you're a long way from home, and you know, to a certain degree, you're a long way from home. But again, as you've been rodeoing for a long time, tell us your events that you perform in.
I perform in the calf roping, bulldogging, and team roping. But this weekend I'll only be in the team roping because earlier in the season I tore my groin, so I've still been sitting out for that.
You know, and I want to go to the bulldogging. I a lot of respect for you guys because again, you are jumping from a horse onto a steer with horns, and you know, one crazy move and boom, bang, zoom, you're toast. So tell us a little bit about that preparation, even though you're not going to be doing it, but tell us how that practice comes about where it becomes almost second nature.
You know, bulldogging, it's an animal, that's for sure. I mean, you're leaving one and you're trying to wrestle another, so you kind of got to go back in and find your mean animal instincts and just kind of there's definitely some technique involved, but at the same point, you just kind of got to bear down and grit your teeth and want it more than the steer does.
And not taken away from the roping part, but I would think with bulldogging, and again, you know, like a football player, when you're not just every time on a horse and jumping down on a steer, are you in the weight room lifting weights? What are you doing to build that upper body strength?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We have quite a few guys right now on the rodeo team that are hitting the weight room and a lot of repetition. I mean, we're not always getting off a horse wrestling steers. We'll run the steers through like the buck and shoots, and we'll get a hold of them, and we'll run that way. Just like last week, I think we run 60 steers that weren't even off horses out of like 6 guys. So been running a lot of steers.
Well, and I'll ask you this question as well, too, now as we know that you're from Alliance, Nebraska, but what brought you out to LCCC? How did you get recruited out here to at least compete with this rodeo team?
Right out of high school, I moved down to Texas and was down there living with the guy training some horses, and I kind of thought, you know, I was down there for about 5-6 months. Like, I wouldn't mind trying to get into school,
and I knew some buddies coming up here to Cheyenne. And I gave them a call, and the coach said, yeah, come up and try it. And I went and visited here, and I didn't go look anywhere else. I kind of fell in love with Cheyenne, and I really like it here. It's a good fit.
Well, Nick, you kind of almost answered the next question for him to a certain degree. If you get done here in Cheyenne, I would venture to say you'd like to go about 40 miles to the west of us here and probably continue your education as well as rodeo?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. I definitely have another 2 years on my mind. Just where I'm going to finish, I'm not real sure, but definitely going to see if they'll let me rodeo still.
You know, when you get an opportunity to see rodeo across the region, and again, we have the daddy of them all, Cheyenne Frontier Days, does that kind of get the juices flowing like, hey, this is something I want to do as a professional career?
Oh, yes, for sure. You know, it's just kind of one of those deals, like you wake up and you're thinking about it and you're taking notes, you're studying guys who've been there and done what you want to do. And I think when you really want to take rodeo on to the next level, the big thing is, I mean, practice. You can never practice enough, and I just kind of feel like that's kind of our atmosphere here in Cheyenne with the daddy being here. You know, it's just kind of in the culture.
What about the team roping? Again, I know about team roping, but to those that are not familiar with it, explain what goes on. I had a buddy of mine, matter of fact, who was a partner of mine many years ago, tell me all about that. That gets intense.
Oh, team roping's very intense because me and my partner, Heath and Brown, we both are very competitive and we want to win, but there's twice as many variables as there are in any other sport because you have him and his rope and yourself and your rope, and there's 2 other horses and 1 steer, and you have a very short amount of time to make everything go right. There's a lot of variables, and sometimes it's clicking, and other times you're ready to fight with your partner. But so far, him and I have been on a good level so far, and I think we'll have a good weekend. You know, and the key word, like Coach was talking about, practice. This is one that you have to practice. It's almost like a quarterback and a receiver running a route. Until they get it right, they're going to go out there and throw that football until he gets it right. Same thing, you and your partner. You got to be step in step with each other. Yep, exactly, big time. You know, some people rope steers different on the backside than they do than other guys, so the headers have to handle their steers different. And some headers want their steer running straight down the pin. Someone brought it left, so you guys got to work together to see what's going to help each other win for the both of you.
And I'm assuming, especially in that rodeo kind of sense, and again, crowds can get loud, and especially there in the LCCC arena, but again, you can have that atmosphere, that loudness, but I'm assuming at least, again, in that team event, there's a lot of communication with your, at least partners going, hey, you need to hit here or this timing or, you know, get this all done, but I'm assuming that's got to be a key point as well, too.
Yeah, for sure. You know, usually once we look at our steer and we get the draw, if we've seen him go before, you know, we kind of plan out and tell each other, you know, this is what he did, and try and make a plan to use the steer to our best ability to win on him. But like, again, they're animals. Sometimes they don't do what they did the first time. So having a plan is great, but you definitely got to be able to adapt for sure.
Gerard joining us here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Hey, we wish you all the best, especially for the Sean Dubuque Memorial Rodeo. And again, hopefully your career moves on to bigger and better things, and maybe one day we're talking to you at the Daddy of them all.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Gerard from Alliance, Nebraska here at LCCC, and again, the Sean Dubuque Memorial Rodeo all weekend long. We'll talk more about it when we come back after the break right here on 1480 KRAE.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Due to our stormy season this summer, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Rogers' already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer, at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to jollyrogersrv.com.
If it happens on the diamond, the hardwood, the field, or even the ice, we'll talk about it on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Hi, this is Nick Peretti inviting you to join Larry Peretti and myself each weekday from 3 to 5 p.m. as we, along with our special guests, talk sports locally, regionally, and nationally. And you can chat with us too at 307-514-1071. It's Wyoming Sports Talk today only on 1480 KRAE, and you can stream live with us at 1480krae.com.
The 2018 Kia Stinger can be your dream vehicle come to life. I'm AJ Miller, and we have the impressive 2018 Kia Stinger here at Kia of Cheyenne. The Kia Stinger comes with choice of 2 turbocharged engines, giving the Stinger strong performance at a budget-friendly price. This car is tough to beat with numerous standard features and comparably priced lower than other vehicles in its class. You need to come to Kia of Cheyenne and drive the Stinger today. Call us at 775-0123 or go to kiaofcheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing! And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
And we are back on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Oh, my. It was so much fun talking some rodeo. Again, it is the Sean Doobie Memorial Rodeo. Can't believe it. And again, Nick, you were born 1990 when this thing all kicked off. I mean, that's how long this has been running out at LCCC, and each and every year.
I like how you brought up the word 31. That's what don't remind me.
Well, you got a couple more years before you're 30.
Anyway, so, but yeah, again, a long-standing, again, from my understanding, especially with the Doobie, at least rodeo, it's something that has been very successful for LCCC. Again, it is that kind of home court, again, air quotes of home court, home field advantage for LCCC. So hopefully it does work out very well for the LCCC athletes competing this weekend again, as we'll have teams, schools from around the area, again, of Region 9 action, but also, too, again, seeing the Big Boy College, again, Bo Clark's crew now, again, a guy who is very well known with LCCC. His crew will now be coming down from UW to compete in this, at least, event. So, again, a lot of schools, a lot of talent, a lot of athletes competing this weekend. Again, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 7 o'clock on Friday, 7 p.m. on Saturday as well, 11 a.m. on Sunday. And, again, general admission tickets can be purchased at the door there at LCCC's arena. Admission is $10 for military, seniors, and youth. Youth being 11 to 17, $5 in LCCC students, children 10 and younger get in completely free. And also, too, that Friday will be military appreciation, as head coach Seth Glause did talk about. Again, anyone who has a valid military ID gets in for free on Friday as well.
Well, and think, too, with this Sean Doobie Memorial Rodeo, and this is where you want to see our young cowboys and cowgirls perform because, 2-3 years later, like I said, they'll be doing the rodeo circuit around here in the Rocky Mountain region. Who knows? Member had their PRC.
Well, I mean, it's like any athletic event that we kind of encourage anyone to go to. Again, with men's soccer, women's soccer, volleyball, both the basketball teams, and including rodeo. Again, you are potentially seeing someone that we could be seeing in the pro ranks. I think LCCC has had a few that have moved on to that at least potential, and I wouldn't doubt we have a few in the making right now for LCCC. So again, highly encouraged to go out there. Again, it is at its normal Dayton time. Again, last year's events with the animals, again, falling on that little bug, that sickness that they did have, again, had to move that to, I do believe, in March of 2018. But it is in its correct Dayton time for this season, as we talked with Seth and wanted to make sure about that all animals, even with the recent dip in weather and just the random snow, apparently, that all animals.
This year, it's the humans that are getting the bug as opposed to animals.
Well, I'm still feeling fine. Again,
there's a bug going around. Don't even go.
I never got it.
My friends over out at South.
I never got it.
The bug's been going through. Also, too, we want to thank Bernard Gerard, sophomore from Alliance, Nebraska, and
Laramei Bain
from Hershey, Nebraska. She is also a sophomore coming in and talking to us. So I stumbled upon this today, and I thought, it not so much a time killer because we got baseball and we got that little lull now.
Well, hell,
Friday,
we can even talk about our football game coming up Friday against South and Campbell County.
We're going to talk about that more
We alluded
tomorrow.
to South a little bit again.
We'll talk about that tomorrow when we have the coaches on. So I stumbled upon this today.
We also failed to mention that we'll have other guests as well, too, but I guess we'll do that at the top of the hour.
Well, we can mention in the next hour.
There's no point to do it now.
It'll be our Wyoming Stampede show.
Wyoming?
We'll talk about that. Our Cheyenne Stampede. Cheyenne Stampede.
You can
show.
see it on my jersey right in front of you. Come on now.
Well, I do have senior moments from time to time, and now I'll put my glasses back.
Well, maybe you need to get some Cheyenne
So I want to
Stampede
talk
gear.
about the top 25 highest paid players in Major League Baseball.
All right, why are we talking about this?
Because you're going to laugh at some of these guys, what they're making, and you're going to say to yourself, why are they getting this kind of
scratch.
No, I probably won't.
In at number 25 is Colorado Rockies first baseman Ian Desmond.
All right.
He's making $22 million in 2018. And now his career stat, 264 average. He hit 229 this year.
Clearly you're digging for something to talk about right now, but okay, I'll let you go on. Okay, he makes money. Good for him.
Then we have Tanaka.
Is he worth that money?
Mashiro,
that's the better question. Is Ian Desmond worth that money? No.
Mashiro Tanaka for the Yankees. He was making $22 million this year. His career stats, 1 loss, 62 and 33. This year he went 10 and 5.
Tanaka was big, at least heavily out of Japan, kind of recruited. He was anticipated to be that top dog. Clearly he is not. Is he worth that money? Not at this point in time. But, again, the Yankees, they can toss around money. They don't really care.
And at number 23, Max Scherzer, who made a little over $22 million in 2018.
Is he worth the money? Yeah.
His career stats were 157-81. He went 16 and 6 this season.
On a terrible Washington Nationals team.
How about our boy, Buster?
Is he worth it? Yeah.
He's been in the league 10 years. He made $22,177,000. Career stats, 306 lifetime batting average. Hit 284 this year for the Giants before going down.
How about Rookie of the Year?
Let's 3 rings?
Yeah, 3 rings. Do believe also, was he NL MVP?
I don't
believe so. But I know Rookie of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, and again, 3
6-time All-Star.
Well, is he worth the money? Absolutely.
How about Cole Hamels, number 21? He made $22.5 million for the Cubs this year. Career stats, 156 and 111. He went 9 and 9 with the Cubbies this year.
In his early years of the Philadelphia Phillies, Cole Hamels, is he worth that kind of money? Yes. Now, I don't really think so.
He fell off from last year where he was 11 and 6. Joe Mauer of the Minnesota Twins, they paid him $23 million this year.
Sure, last year it might be his last year with the Twins.
He's a career 306 hitter, hit 276 this year. Josh Donaldson.
He's worth the money more to the fans there in Minnesota. Again, he is the face of that franchise. Obviously, the Twins want to pay him pretty handily again, where he's kind of that iconic player for the Minnesota Twins. So I get it. He's been dwindling in years, dealing with injuries. Is he technically worth it? Hey, if the Giants were paying that kind of scratch for him, I'd say no. But for a Minnesota, what he means to that fan base, yeah, he is worth that money.
Number 19, Josh Donaldson. $23 million in 2018. His career batting average, 275, hit 234 this year.
But again, playing for a terrible Toronto team.
Now, here's a guy I think is worth the money, and he's been paying dividends in the playoffs. J.D. Martinez, $23,750,000 career, 292 batting average. This year he hit 335, 39 home runs, 115 RBIs. Yeah, I think he's probably worth the money. How about Jordan Zimmerman with the Detroit Tigers?
No.
$24 million. His career is 94 and 76. He went 7 and 6 this year with the Motor City Kitties, ERA 4.03.
No, he's not worth that money.
$24 million. I just want the fans to understand when they go and pay for you, me, your sister to go to a game, and we pay $500 to watch a game and have a few hot dogs.
I don't know what the hell game you're watching, but I've never paid that price. But anyways.
Robinson Cano.
It's kind of the same thing of what you're paying prices for. I was looking at, again, I'll be in the Bay Area here late October. Warriors will be in town. I think they're taking on Minnesota, or it's really nothing a big marquee matchup there in Oracle. But, again, a team that is back-to-back championships, all-stars are up and down that lineup, a lot of money being tossed around. Those tickets are for cheap seats were minimum $100.
Yeah. Right.
Same with NFL. Again, look at those salaries, and what it also too includes is those.
They're bringing oxygen mask too in the Oracle. Robinson Cano, who missed part of the season because he was a bad boy. He's making $24 million in Seattle.
I have no issue with his money.
304 career stats, batting average, hit 286 in limited play this year. Here's the laugher, Yu Darvish.
Yeah.
Number 15 on the list. $25 million the Cubs paid him this year.
And again, that was just money because, again,
That's
was
stupid money.
Well, you have to go back to what he was doing with Texas. He was kind of touted as, again, potential of
stupid money.
Well, I'm just saying, you go off of what the Cubs anticipated, and again was expecting this all-star, this Clayton Kershaw.
His career numbers: 57 and 45. He went 1-3 this year, 4.95 ERA. Joey Votto. I'm just going to move along here. Joey Votto, number 14 on the list. He had a down year.
14. Get on with it.
Just relax. Number 13 on the list here as we continue on is Giancarlo Stanton.
He's worth it
with the Yankees.
Yeah.
$25 million.
Guy who was National League MVP for the Marlins.
Felix Hernandez is number 12. Number 11 is John Lester. Worth it.
Yeah.
Number 10, Justin Verlander. We're talking $28 million.
Worth it.
Jason Hayward, number 9 for the Cubs are paying such stupid money right now.
Well, again, bonus incentive money because again, he was a part of that championship team.
Yeah, his signing bonus was almost $7 million. He made $28 million plus with the Cubbies last year. Number 8, Jonas Cespedes with the Mets.
I say he's worth it.
$29 million. Jake Arrieta with Philadelphia, $30 million. Wow. Some of these numbers just start getting silly.
Hurry up.
Albert Pujols, number 6 on the list, $30 million. He had a down year. Miguel Cabrera, who played very little this year, $30 million. Number 4, David Price with the Red Sox. Actually had a good year, $30 million. Zach Greinke, number 3 on the list with the Diamondbacks, $34 million.
Well, guess what?
Salary.
And again, to cut off this list that you're just boring us with. But Zach Greinke, though, interesting at least notes coming out of the Arizona Diamondbacks where they're trying to pull a Giants maneuver in the offseason where they have, at least front office personnel have said that all pieces are on the trading block, that the Diamondbacks right now at this point in time are willing and ready to they're starting fresh. They're doing the Giants. They're going to clean house this offseason, apparently. They are looking as well, too, for potential trades with Zach Greinke. So will he be a part of the Diamondbacks coming up this year? It doesn't look like it.
All right, number 2 on the list from the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, Mike Trout.
Hey, he's absolutely worth it.
$34,083,000. And, yeah, he lived up to his career stats. As his average is 306 career.
If you're the Angels, you sign him to a lifetime contract.
He's a free agent in 2021, by the way.
Well, yeah, they signed him that long contract years ago because, again, in a smart fashion, yeah, Angels, what you need to do is lock him up for a long time. He's a piece you want to build around.
Who is the number 1 paid baseball player?
I don't know.
One Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah.
$35,571,000. His career, he's 150 and 69 this year. He went 6 and 5.
I wonder if he has bonus incentives to not be on the DL in a season.
I don't know, but he is a free agent actually, and I don't know why they're saying that on TV unless the Dodgers are willing to deal him. But they were saying, oh, he could be pitching his last games in Dodger Stadium.
Possibly. I mean, and again, without taking the pulse, and we can talk to Chris about this coming up on Friday, but. Again, Clayton he's still an ace. Let's be honest with ourselves. He's still a phenomenal pitcher, but I'm just saying,
untouchable.
I'm just saying over this past couple of recent seasons, though, he has run into a lot of injuries, a lot of time being away from this Dodger team. Is that something that the Dodgers kind of weigh at least the negatives over the positives of what Clayton Kershaw brings to the table, going, yes, we love what you do, Clayton, but you're away for a long time. Again, what happened this season? He was gone for a couple months. Granted, the Dodgers can deal without him, or at least they tried to piece things together without having him there. Same with last season without having Clayton. But, I mean, to say that I don't anticipate Clayton Kershaw won't be a Dodger coming up next season. I really don't think so.
Oh, I don't think
he's so beloved by Dodgers.
I know, but if the Dodgers don't win the World Series, I don't think he's going to run to the front office and say, "Hey, trade me." I just don't.
No, I don't think
happening.
so. Well, I mean,
it would be.
It'd be the kind of.
It'd be shocking. I think he.
I would put it more on a parallel of what would happen between where again this offseason for the Colorado Rockies, where maybe there's a breaking point for these players where, for instance, with a Nolan Arenado, does he kind of go, I'm putting this full effort up here, but it's for nothing.
I think Arenado stays.
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
What I'm hearing, he wants to stay. It's interesting, too. Kershaw makes $35 million. And you look at a team like the Tampa Bay Rays or the White Sox, their payroll combined was $71 million.
All right.
You look at a guy like Kershaw, and he's making $35 million. Giants had a payroll over $207 million, and the Red Sox at $227 million. Holy cow.
Guess what? Those are teams that have won of recently, at least championships. Okay, with the Red Sox, with the Giants of 2010.
So you're saying to win
I'm just saying they've got revenue.
I know, but to win a pennant, you got to spend the most money.
Not necessarily. Again, look at 2010 with the Giants, where they basically said, hey, let's bring up a lot of our farm pieces, trade for kind of those misfit players. Again, 2010 was that team of misfits, and not necessarily. Again, where we saw with the Dodgers doing that fire buyout of the Red Sox team, again, that sent on over Adrian Gonzalez and all those other players, and it spent astronomical money on all of them. It didn't work out for them.
Correct me if I'm wrong, that Giants team of 2010, it was the lefty they picked up from Oakland, who had the 12-6 curveball.
Barry Zito,
where he was on a $13 to $15 million 6-year deal.
Well, that's what they ate. Yeah, they absolutely ate on that one, but he did at least work out well in 2012. But and they didn't pick him up in 2010. I think they picked him up 2008.
They had a couple of years earlier.
Yeah. Right. But other than that, though, again. Does it tell me that at least those higher-up payrolls, do they get you wins?
It did for the Yankees, though,
it
back
certainly
in the 70s.
And it did for this year. Again, look what Giancarlo Stanton did. Again, in addition to that team and the other pieces that they brought on board, it certainly got them to the playoffs. Not as far as they probably would have hoped for. But, again, Oakland was your only kind of random team that was down in the basement, but Oakland's been that franchise that hasn't been known to do that, and they're going to probably continue that under Billy Bean. But I would say more than often, yeah, if you spend a lot of money, that money's buying you wins, in my opinion.
Right.
Again, Oakland is that one exception. Colorado spent a lot of money. It got them wins this year.
Got playoffs. Last 2 years, they spent a lot of money and got them into the playoffs. But
a pathetic NLDS.
Yeah,
we haven't even talked about that.
We need to get into that. We'll get into that next hour. We'll talk a little baseball. But I just wanted to leave that in. Final four has been set up. Astros, Red Sox. Red Sox will be the host team because of the better record. And Milwaukee Dodgers getting underway this Friday. Milwaukee, the host team.
An ugly Final Four.
Where are we at here in the Final Four? Did any of us have anybody in the Final Four?
I don't know.
Why don't you look these things up?
I don't know. Again, I didn't realize you're going to bring up 25 players who make money. Good for them. Again, how am I?
Well, obviously, you don't prepare the show. I have to come in here prepared.
Oh, please.
I find stuff
in the Final Four. I think you, again, of what we had, we didn't pick the Final Four. We picked of who was going to be NL champion and AL champion.
I was just saying, did we have any teams in the Final Four?
I think some people do, some people don't.
Keep it like that. That narrows it down. What a knucklehead.
Someone has Houston. I can't remember. I had New York on one side, but obviously they're not in it. Let's see.
Anyway.
I think Chris has his Dodgers still in it.
Don't bore me anymore. We'll just wrap it up.
Please,
right
with
there.
you and your 25 again of professional athletes that make
money.
Well,
I threw that out because of one Ian Desmond. You think the guy is worth the $22 million?
No, but again, the Rockies.
The Rockies need to deal him.
What about that expensive bullpen? Was that worth it? Clearly, it wasn't this year. Again, if you go back and recap, and it'll be interesting to talk if we can talk Thomas Harding again, or at least another Rockies insider we've had on the show. But was spending all that money on this bullpen really worth it this year? What was the main theme? What was the main thing you were complaining, or Rocky fans, or what we were talking about throughout this season? It was that bullpen being just terrible. Other than the one little speck of shining light that was Adam Montefiore when he was clicking every once in a while. Other than that, though, it was you complaining about Davis. It was you complaining about
Montefiore, and I was Jake McGee and Shaw. You go right down the list. The one who was steady Eddie in the bullpen
right
this year.
Right now, again,
Oberg.
the Rockies, who we've kind of dogged on, or at least for years, they were kind of along with the Oakland A's of not being able to spend that kind of money. Well, they finally did this season, but it was kind of carelessly spent. Am I wrong? It was, again, Ian Desmond, should he be making that money? No.
I think that
should that bullpen be the most expensive bullpen in MLB? No.
Absolutely
Clearly
not. You know what? I would think they have probably better kids on the farm right now than some of these guys. As a matter of fact,
supposedly
we saw a couple of them come up, and they weren't that bad.
Supposedly their farm system, or at least, again, my understanding of the farm system is some pieces still need a little, at least need to mature down there.
At least with the tweaking of the bullpen now, they're doing it in Albuquerque instead of Colorado Springs. So at least they're getting a better feel of pitching now at more of a sea-level type of situation.
We're at the top.
All right, we got to move to the top of the hour. Coming up in hour number 2, around 4:30, we will have the Cheyenne Stampede join us. Coach Neil Breen. He will bring in center Logan Syrup, who will be joining us here, talking about this past weekend Stampede adventures down to Greeley, Colorado, plus getting ready for Dallas coming to town. That's right, 3 days. Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday, we will have Dallas in town. You definitely need to be at the Cheyenne Ice and Event Center watching some fantastic hockey this weekend. We're back with hour number 2 after this.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
With hour number 2, beginning our program being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne. Also, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service having a hail of a sale over on Highway 30. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Delrange, serving up 3 squares Monday through Saturday. Kia of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. Platte Valley Bank on Vandehigh and at the corner of College and Pershing. Medicap Pharmacy. You'll find Gene and the gang over at Bluegrass Circle right next door to Texas Roadhouse. Lennox Auto Body, the auto and truck repair center with a plethora of bays over on Dunn Avenue. And the Auto Glass and Detail Center on Pershing Boulevard. First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Open Monday through Friday. Open 7 days a week. It's Mondello's Pizzeria at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. And Mars Plumbing and Heating at 1515 Logan Avenue. We always get our program underway with a scoreboard. Let's see what's going on our scoreboard. It's part of our Friday Night Lights, but every day during Wyoming Sports Talk Today, we go at the top of the hour with our scoreboard. Brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
You got squad, so I'll take care of everything as usual. But NHL action for tonight, 3 games on the slate with Ottawa Senators hosting the Philadelphia Flyers. This game will get underway at 5:30 tonight at the Canadian Tire Center. Washington Capitals at home at Capital One Arena hosting the Vegas Golden Knights, a rematch of last year's Stanley Cup Final. That game will get underway at 6 o'clock, and you can see that game on NBC Sports Network. Anaheim Ducks at the Pond Honda Center hosting the Arizona Coyotes. That game will get underway at 8 o'clock tonight. So 3 NHL action for tonight. Also, do want to remind folks coming up this Friday, Cheyenne South will play host to Campbell County. It will be our game of the week here on 1480 KRAE, which you can listen live as it will kick off on 6 o'clock. 5:30-ish pregame show here on 1480 AM, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com, and also to video live streaming on Periscope and 1480K, at least the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel. So 5 different ways to tune in to see the Fighting Bison of Cheyenne South take on the Campbell County Camels this Friday.
And nothing on my side if you're really hard up for preseason basketball.
Not really.
Golden State and the Lakers tonight. Big showcase on ESPN with all the big stars.
Well, it's your first taste, again, it's LeBron, a part of the Lakers, seeing the Warriors, again, where it's going to be the monstrous battle in the Pacific, which I doubt it will be. The Lakers aren't going to do squat this season.
Sell me something else, Nick. The Warriors are 1-2 in preseason. The Lakers are 1-3.
Who cares?
Exactly.
Warriors lost last night to the Suns, but again, any of the starters played.
And it's not even in Staples. It's in Las Vegas. Do you really care that it's on ESPN tonight?
If I was in Vegas,
are you that hard up?
If I was in Vegas, I'd go see that game, but no.
Wow, that's exciting. All right, our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Alex White, tea master at Pure Leaf. When I make tea, everything I know goes into it. You can't be impatient. When I craft Pure Leaf iced tea, I don't take shortcuts, because I want you to have the same amazing taste of iced tea that I do. So I start with fresh picked tea leaves. Then, after they're delicately dried, I blend and brew them at a lower temperature to draw out their unique aromas. And then I taste and fine-tune the blend for a delicious smooth iced tea. I'd love to have you take a sip right now, but that's one thing we can't do over the radio. But you can experience the same delicious taste of Pure Leaf iced tea anywhere you are. I'm Alex White, Pure Leaf Tea Master. Pure Leaf, our thing is tea.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Baseball down to their Final Four. We were talking about salaries, the top 25 in Major League Baseball here a little bit. Now we're going to talk about the Rocks for just a very brief period of time.
Why?
Well, you made a comment, and I'm going to tell you why it's not going to happen.
What?
I'm telling you, Nolan's going to remain a Rocky.
He's not. I really. If I was willing to put money down on it, I would say no.
I'll tell you who will not be there next year. You want to know? Jake McGee, gone.
Okay, those are those.
No, wait. Let me finish. Jake McGee, gone.
All right.
I'm thinking they're going to deal Desmond. Not worth it.
No.
Cargo is going to be gone.
Every year I think he's going to go, he doesn't. So I would say no.
They're going to run out of one-year deals with him. They got David Dahl. I don't think they're going to keep Cargo around.
If they haven't done it in years past, what are they going to do it this season?
No one wanted Cargo this year because they didn't want to pay the big bucks.
Who says anyone's going to want him this coming up?
I'm just telling you, I can tell you, McGee, Cargo, Desmond, I think those three are going to be gone.
All right.
On a starting side, I'm not so sure that John Gray is going to be part of that rotation next year.
I think he will. I really do. I think the Rockies will try everything to keep him on because, again, they still think he's kind of the ace of the staff.
No.
Well,
Freeland has earned that stripe. He is the
ace. I get that, but I wouldn't doubt that brass still thinks, hey, he's still a good – it's 1A and 1B, and John Gray just had a little oddball season. He'll be better, or at least he'll be in strong form next season. I wouldn't doubt that's what the front office kind of believes there in Colorado, but in my opinion, Arenado, of what we've been hearing, the rumblings of what's been going on there in the locker room, I don't think he stays. And again, it goes off of my opinion of where he is, at least in his mentality. Not saying he's a selfish player, but there does get a point in time where, hey, my career is basically here to die. Granted, they've had, this is, in Rockies history, in 25 years, this is the second, or at least this is the first time they went to the playoffs back-to-back years. Congrats, I guess. They still have yet to win an NL West, which they let it slip out of their fingers. They had it game 163. Yes, you had to go on the road against a very good Dodgers team, but you still had that opportunity and let it slip through your fingers to win your first ever division title. You have yet to win a World Series championship. You have all these pieces. You went out and addressed your needs last season of the bullpen, and it still blew up in your face.
And now this year, you're going to have to go
through. And this team barely made it. They didn't even, again, you can say what you want about the NLDS. They weren't even there for that.
I agree, and I'm not going to argue with that. But I'm going to tell you right now, again, these names will not be with the team next year. Ottavino, he's a free agent. Adios. They're not going to re-sign him. There's no reason to. He is so inconsistent. He makes... Again, remember when Sergio Romo was with the Giants? At least the guy was consistent. Ottavino, you just don't know what you're going to...
It wasn't consistent in his career, or at least in his time.
Days, but he had a great year this year with Tampa Bay. So, Ottavino, adios. Gray, I don't know if he's going to be part of that starting rotation.
I think people would disagree with you on Ottavino. Ottavino was probably the only shining light of that bullpen. Again, what happened... Again,
at the end of the season, he fizzled.
Okay, that was at the end of the season, but during the regular season when we were complaining about that bullpen, when you were at least complaining about it, again, where the only good light, or at least good piece of it was Adam Ottavino, who has been notorious in his career to be not that good of a piece. So I think the Rockies retain him. But again,
disagree.
The whole bullpen probably needs to go.
Ottavino, McGee, maybe Dunn or Shaw might be out of there.
I don't think it'd be smart.
Chris Iannetta. He's 35.
Yeah.
I think, and they got Sal Butera. They brought
Unless
him
you could get him in for 1 year and just cheap money, which is possible.
Yeah, on the infield side, they are going to do what they can to sign Nolan. It's a business.
Good luck.
And they're going to keep.
There's going to be teams out there, whether it is Yankees, whether it is the Dodgers, whether it is whoever, maybe even the Giants, who knows. But again, there's going to be teams out there saying, "Hey, we are successful." And I'll at least remove the Giants from that one because they've been terrible in recent seasons. But again, Dodgers, Yankees, maybe even Red Sox. One of these teams, Houston, goes and says, "Hey, Arenado, we know how to win." For us, Houston, for us, the Yankees, hey, we know how to win championships. Houston, we just won one, and who says that they don't win one again?
You're going to get rid of Bregman at third base? No.
No. I'm just saying, when you have this big piece out here, again, we saw how aggressive the Yankees were of saying, hey, let's go and get these pieces. I wouldn't doubt, hey, you don't just go and pass on a player like this, though. You don't just go, hey, we're set at our position, but, who
if the
cares?
Rockies throw a 5-year deal at Nolan, he'll stay.
I'll say no.
He'll stay.
I'll say, okay. In my opinion, if I had odds on this, I say it's greater that he is not a Rocky than he will be coming up this next season.
I'm going to say,
I think so. Again, I think everything plays into it in his thought process. Again, we were even talking about that of what was happening in the clubhouse with him, with the anger. Granted, we also understood that it got settled down, however that may be, but maybe that still sets in his psyche going into this offseason and going, all this stuff. Hey, again, I say it every single day on this program, and I'll say it again. What are you playing a sport for? You're playing to win a championship.
I understand.
You're not doing it anytime soon with the Rockies.
But they went,
Does that play
they went one step further than they did last year, though.
To do absolutely nothing. They rolled over and died when they went to the second round.
I can't answer what happened there. Don't know. Only the Rockies know. But I will tell you that Nolan and LeMahieu, along with Story, who's inked, they're going to keep that side of the infield. Desmond, I'm not sure about. I think Desmond's going to be dealt because Ryan McMahon's ready to go.
You have one of the most potent offenses in probably all of MLB, in my opinion. Again, up and down that lineup. It should be one of the most dangerous offenses.
They died in the playoffs.
But it was an entire roller coaster ride this season where they weren't scoring runs. Then they'd score 11 every game, and then they would score nothing. They would get swept by the Giants, or they get swept by the Padres, teams that they shouldn't be. Again,
and they left a lot of men on base.
I feel like that's going to be something that plays into the psyche of Nolan Arenado and a few others are going, is it worth it? Hey, these other teams that have been advancing, for instance, again, Dodgers. Say the Dodgers make it back to the World Series. Maybe that goes.
Look what the Dodgers did. Okay, here you go. You're over there.
And I'm just tossing out these teams.
Look what the Dodgers did at the All-Star break. What did they do? They brought in Machado. They spent a pile of money to absorb his thing.
Okay, so they made moves at the All-Star break to show that they want to win.
What did the Rockies do? They got from Toronto. They picked up a middle reliever.
They said, all right, maybe this will help us a little bit. But nothing that would wow me to go, yes,
they ended up getting Butera, in a trade. But the thing is, the Dodgers are the ones who are willing to buy the pennant. The Rockies aren't willing to buy a pennant.
So what?
So
if that's a price you got to pay, then guess what? Magic Johnson and at least that group down there in L.A. is going to do it to win a championship.
And this is what I'm telling you. Guys like Desmond are going to be gone. Cargo are going to be gone. McGee's going to be gone. Let me just tell you right there, in payroll money is $32 million. Where's that $32 million going to? Nolan Arenado as well as DJ LeMahieu. They are going to keep that infield solidified because it's one of the best infields in Major League Baseball.
If that's one of your best infields, yet you still can't win a division title, you can't even get past the wild card game. You barely did anything.
There are
they probably should have lost.
There are other teams that didn't even make the playoffs.
I guess, but again, we're talking about one of the best. You're tossing all these buzzwords of best infield, best offense, blah 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 blah, and it still got you nothing.
It got you to the playoffs.
Again, what did we talk about What did we talk about yesterday with the Warriors? Hey, cool, great and grand. They got 73 wins in a regular season. But what they do that season, they lost the championship. That team's going to be forgotten. Same with the Rockies. Hey, they had the most wins this year in franchise history. They were the only team that got back-to-back stints in the playoff, at least to go back-to-back in playoff runs in franchise history. Is that team going to be remembered in history's time? No. Maybe to the Rockies fan base, but in MLB history, that team's a forgotten thought. No one cares.
Well, as they go back to Talking Stick coming up in February, and, of course, the winter meetings, we would hope that, again, Jeff Bridich, who will be now in his, fourth season as the general manager, he will be able to perform better moves, better deals. I guarantee you. I don't think they're going to bring back a Matt Holliday. Why do you want to bring back Matt Holliday?
I don't know.
That
was the weirdest thing ever.
And then Carlos Gonzalez. I mean,
I think that, again, Cargo, as every single year, I think he's going to be dealt with at All-Star break or not even going to get re-signed. There's nothing showing to me that he's going to move away from the Rockies. I really don't think so. I really don't.
Well, you're going to keep giving them one-year deals because no one else is
I'm not saying that's a good thing on the Rockies or they should do it, but nothing is telling me at this point in time that the Rockies are going to deal him away. They've had multiple years to do it.
He's a free agent, so I think he's going to deal himself away.
He had the opportunity last year. Why didn't he?
And there was no takers, huh?
Who says there's takers this year?
Yeah, well,
he's aging.
Yeah, I understand.
He's really not.
He's only going to be 33.
All right,
but I'm just saying
his numbers have not been.
I'm just saying, guys like Desmond, he's a bust. Why waste the money? Deal him. Somebody else can use him. Maybe you'll be happier in another ballpark. Again, McGee, $5 million. What a waste. Get him out of there. It's time to say, hey, Ottavino, you're a free agent. Adios.
Again, we can only speculate at this point in time because, the offseason.
And my speculation will be that the Rockies will retain Nolan Arenado and DJ LeMahieu. They will not mess up a good thing on that infield.
If they do, I wouldn't be surprised. If they lose them, I would not be surprised either. I would not honestly be surprised if Arenado just said, I'm done. I'm going to go play for a team that I know I can at least potentially win a little bit more with.
All right. Last night, Boston defeats the New York Yankees. Last year, flip it over, was the Yankees beating Boston to match up with Houston.
All right.
Time to handicap. Is Houston back for a second World Series championship?
I think they have enough in them to do it, yeah.
Do you think?
Granted,
Boston has
they had an easy ALDS against Cleveland, so they basically had rest time that whole series, but yeah, absolutely. Houston, they've been there, did it, done it. They know how to upend these teams. They won it last year. What says they can't? Again, this big bad Boston team, it reminds you of those big bad Washington National teams, those big bad LA teams that could win 100 and so games a season and then collapse and then NLCS. Again, we've seen it with the Giants where, oh no, here comes the big bad Nationals, here comes the big bad Dodgers, and they can't even get past that at least championship series.
But here's the difference though. Pitching has been the key.
Okay.
Yes, Houston's got pitching.
Who's pitching? I'll take Houston's.
Okay,
I'll take Houston's.
After the way Porcello is throwing and Eovaldi who threw the other night, I don't know. And David Price, I don't think David Price is going to be bad.
Boston doesn't really surprise me either.
And they only need 3 pitchers now as we go into 7-game series. And all bullpens are going to be on call. But again, you're going to go up against Verlander.
Okay.
Keuchel, Dallas Keuchel. I can't remember. There's 2 other good starters that Houston has. I'm just saying it's going to be a good series with Boston and Houston. I don't think it's going to be 4 straight for Houston or 5 for Houston. I think we might have a full 7-game series between these 2 teams.
Both
teams can hit the ball.
There's no doubt about that.
I give Houston the better. I give Houston
the edge, and I say they win it in 6. If I'm making a prediction right now, which I will, Houston in 6.
I can live with that. I think this might be a 7-game series, and probably Houston win it. Now, the Dodgers will match up with the Brewers coming up on
this
Friday.
one. I don't anticipate to be. You can talk about what it's going to be, but in my opinion, of what I've seen in the NLCS and what I've known about, or at least in the NLDS, I should say, and what I know about these 2 teams, I'll let you talk about it. But this one is cut and dry. There's no way this team does not at least win.
You mean the Dodgers?
I'm talking the Brewers.
I think the Brewers are going to win this thing.
That's what I'm saying. I think the Brewers in 5.
I think the Brewers.
The Brewers are right now showing what they did to the Rockies and what they're going to do to the Dodgers. Kind of have the same thing as what Houston. At least what Houston dealt with Cleveland. Atlanta, they were really not there to play. Granted, same with the Colorado Rockies. So the Brewers and Dodgers.
Brewers and Dodgers weren't really tested.
They weren't really tested at all. But
both teams are free swingers. I'll give you that.
I'd rather have Brewers offense than I would Dodgers.
Well, and I like it with the fact that Lorenzo Cain.
Pitching, I would probably give advantage to L.A., but I think the
bullpen is more consistent with the Brewers than it is with the Dodgers.
But I'd say starters, though, I'd rather have L.A. starters than I would Milwaukee. But yes,
could this be a full 7-game series then?
I don't. This was just something that kind of popped in, at least when I was looking at this series. I honestly think Milwaukee, with that offense, how potent it can be, again, that bullpen that can shut down hitters, that can probably quiet at least the Dodgers coming up in this series. I think, again, if I got to make the prediction right now, I say Milwaukee in 5. And I got Milwaukee versus Houston in the World Series.
Again,
and I don't think it's that far-fetched.
Well, yeah, that's fine. I think you're okay with your picks, and I'm not going to diss on them. I think both these series are capable of going 7. I really do. I just have.
I feel like you say that about every series or every playoff stint.
Because these two teams are so evenly matched. All 4 teams are evenly matched.
Again, with Milwaukee, I think they're just a few yards better than the Dodgers are. And I would say more so with that offense, that at least especially that infield, at least the defensive positioning for the Brewers, I think they're very good. That bullpen can get it done, is consistent. Dodgers, again, not a bad outfit. They're not going to roll over and die, clearly, but I think Milwaukee, there's something that has just fueled this fire that sparked something inside of them that will get them past this NLCS and into the World Series. And again, I say Brewers in 5.
Okay. Here's an interesting note here.
Especially when you're led by the potential NL MVP of Yelich, who I think should be the MVP without a doubt. If he's not, it's a crime.
Oh, I think definitely he should be up in the top, at least the top 2 for the NL.
No, it's not top 2. What he's been doing this season, what he did for this Brewers team, yes, he is definitively the NL MVP.
All right, and this is one of the things that kind of drives me nuts as well, too. Not so much that he's the greatest since sliced bread, but the Miami Marlins traded right-hander reliever Kyle Barraclough to the Washington Nationals today for international slot money.
Okay.
Now, Barraclough's 28. He was the Marlins' best relievers, going 15-12 with 11 saves, 3.21 ERA, and 227 appearances over 4 seasons with them.
Why should I care about this?
Because these are the things that drive me nuts about the Rockies. You never hear the Rockies making deals, going after closers or
the Rockies
relief guys.
Well, the Rockies right now are licking their wounds after that pathetic NLDS.
Well, they should be in the market now trying to spend some money.
You would think so. Well, again, this team, you don't know going every single year. We had to anticipate, or at least for you and what we talked about, and Rockies fans had a fear that they weren't going to spend money in the offseason. Well, they did. But will they this season?
Stupid money. Anyway,
will they do it again this offseason? There is a potential.
I would hope that, again, in his 4th season, that Jeff Bridich will be a little smarter and wiser in his spending for the Rockies.
Go figure. A GM who's been a part of a Denver franchise, who's had some tenure, is making questionable moves still going forward. Is it kind of like John Elway with the Broncos?
Well, the one big move.
It's kind of like the Denver franchise
down there. The one big move they got rid of Weiss and brought in Bud Black. So at least
do you do?
Well, from Weiss they got to the playoffs in one season under Bud Black, and 2 seasons in a row.
Seemed like 2 seasons you were lucky to get into the playoffs.
Well,
again, the collapse of last year, where it brought you down to the second wild card spot, which the Rockies had clinched. They should have won the division last year. Same with this year. But they eventually just collapsed on. Well, actually, no. Dodgers had that clearly last year, but no, you had at least first wild card spot locked up, and then let that slip out of your hands. Same with this season. You had that division locked up and let it slip out of your hands to the Dodgers as well too. So, again, he elevated him, yes, to a certain extent, but I don't think Bud Black is that guy to take him past the NLCS if this team was to ever make it there, which I don't. And if I had to look into the future for 5 years for this Rockies franchise as is right now, no.
All right. You're entitled to your opinion. We're going to take a timeout. We come back. It will be time for our Cheyenne Stampede segment. We have head coach Neil Breen, also Senator Logan Seth, join us here on 1480 KRAE. Back after these words.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
You love the Lennox difference, from collision repair to minor nicks and dents. Certified quality you can trust. Nobody cares about your car more than us. Lennox Auto Body, we do what we say. We fix it right and get you on your way. No shortcuts, no compromise. Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue and the Detail Center at 617 East Pershing Boulevard, Cheyenne.
You can see it all around Wyoming, what John Barrasso is accomplishing for our state. John fought hard for the biggest tax cuts in a generation, and he delivered. Tax cuts that mean Wyoming families are keeping more of their hard-earned money. John made strengthening Wyoming's water infrastructure a top priority with legislation that will reduce the threat of devastating floods, increase critical water storage, and finish, fix, or replace the irrigation projects our farmers and ranchers use to feed America and the world. And when Congress stole mining royalties from the people of Wyoming, John led our delegation to take back the hundreds of millions of dollars we were owed. Money that helps fund important Wyoming priorities and our communities. John Barrasso, real accomplishments for all of Wyoming.
I'm John Barrasso, and I approve this message.
Paid for by friends of John Barrasso. BarrassoForWyoming.com.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. They have a 16-month CD at an annual percentage yield of 2.33% and a 27-month CD at an APY of 2.74%. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Okay, good day in the weight room, boys. Remember, we lift weights for strength. For cardio, we lift weights faster. Wachowski, quit looking at your stomach, son. What you're looking for ain't there. If you want a six-pack, the easiest way to get one is at Taco John's.
Stop in for a six-pack and a pound at Taco John's. Get 6 crispy beef tacos and a pound of potato olays, all for $10.99.
Let's olay the day and go get one right now. Last one there has to pick up Mrs. Coach from jiu-jitsu class.
Olay the day at Taco John's.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be cloudy with snow likely throughout the day with highs around 33. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with snow likely throughout the evening with lows around 24. On Thursday, it'll continue to be mostly cloudy with rain showers likely with highs around 42. And on Thursday night, it'll be more of the same with mostly cloudy skies with lows around 28.
Here, the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk today. Larry Perotti, Nick Perotti, head coach Neil Breen of the Cheyenne Stampede, and kind of laughing because the notes Nick gave me was you and Logan coming in. Next thing I know, we got everybody out here but the Billitine family.
I was gonna say, we have
I
the
mean,
whole team.
we got a locker room full of folks out here today, but it's nice to have you guys in as we get going with our coaches show here on a Wednesday. So what we do on the coaches show, we'll review what happened this past weekend. Yes, the column's going to say L with two of them, but again, the forest through the trees signature is starting to show under the Neil Breen directorship.
Yeah, I think it was a good test for us to see where we're at. I mean, I think, in my opinion, I think the Colorado Eagles are going to be the top team in the league this year with how much skill and speed they have and how much age and experience they have. So it was a good test for us to sort of see where our holes are, and we responded well to the adversity, and in some instances, and then others we did not.
Well, I think that goes credit to you then, at least your team, in the direction that the Cheyenne Stampede are moving again from last season, but now where we are here in a brand new season. If you're talking this Northern Colorado Eagles team is the top dog, even though they play in the Midwest division of the Western States Hockey League. Again, you gave them their all, though. These were competitive games where if you look back, again, to compare to last season as we have to, but this Colorado team was scoring, they were 10 goals ahead of you, at least better than the Cheyenne Stampede team a year ago. But you gave them a fight on the road down there in Greeley at the Ice House.
We did, yeah. We came out soft in the first period in the first game. Just sort of everybody getting their feelers. The young guys kind of feeling things out a little bit too much, and our horses weren't running early, so we came out a little light in the first period, but responded well in the second and third. And, honestly, I feel our third period in that first game was one of the better periods I've seen out of this club. So, I agree. I mean, we're definitely miles ahead of where we were last year as far as clientele and intelligence on the ice. So we certainly answered the bell to some aspects of the game, and, we got some immaturities we got to clean up going forward.
I just want to very quickly, not to cut you off, but at least recap that first game, just to talk about a few notable players, at least from that first contest. One with Dawson Nelson. He did get one goal in that contest. Also to Hakan Salt that we've had on the program before. He came away with 2 goals in that first contest. And then also to Brian Waters. He came away with a goal. Again, that was a 6-4 loss against the Northern Colorado Eagles down there in Greeley. So that was game number 1. Game number 2, at least it was a low-scoring effort. Again, another close contest between you and the Northern Colorado Eagles. So just give us a summary of game number 2 that weekend.
Yeah, the second game we definitely came out a lot stronger. In the first period, we made a note to get into things a lot harder and a lot heavier in the first period, and sort of respond to their speed and skill by kind of giving them a taste of their own medicine. And they're a pretty deep team that they go 4 deep. They roll their 4 lines. So, and we started to ride our higher end guys kind of going towards the end of the game, which always kind of tires some guys out, and we fizzle out a little bit. But I was happy to see the guys responded sort of towards the end of the game to get it back up to 4-2. We sort of left a note there saying that next time we meet, we're gonna come ready to play for 60 minutes.
You mentioned back on game 1 that you came out a little slow.
Yeah.
And again, with the team being some vets along with a mixture of new, and again, you're not knowing how they're going to gel yet. You don't know how from practice how they're going to do well, but you don't know until you actually get them out there. What was that turning point as you had that opportunity after period 1 to get together with the young men and say, hey, gosh, they get dressed the same way we do. I mean, what was the message that kind of sparked these guys to play as that team?
Yeah, I mean, outside of the expletives that I threw out there,
ain't nothing wrong with that, Coach. You wouldn't be the first guy.
It was really just a wake up call for us. I mean, I think, I gave the boys a lot of fuel on the aspect of, we're a very good team and we're not playing like it. This is a very good team that we're playing against, and we can hang with them. And that was kind of the message. Like, why don't we show that we can do more than hang with them? get out there, finish our checks, play a physical game, be tight on our assignments and tactics in the D zone, and play the game the right way. And I think, it was a real simple message, really. I mean, a lot of guys in this sport, especially the younger guys, 16 to 20, they complicate the game. And when we start to complicate the game, that's when we start making mistakes.
Coach, did you see that from that message between period 1 and 2 carry over into the next day as well?
I did, yeah. The big message was we got to tighten up our D zone. We got to be aggressive. We play a layered system, and we want to be tight on our layers. And that message just kept ringing true. And every chance we got to celebrate the quality that we were seeing on the ice, we made sure to stay positive on the guys. And so these kids these days, they respond to the positive reinforcement. And I think I did. I saw us staying tighter on our responsibilities in the D zone. I saw us, identifying it from the bench as well. Guys talking about it, like, hey, that's a great layer there. Like, that's good work in the D zone. Guys talking to each other on the bench in a positive way. And that brings that simplicity of the game along and helps our guys to stay positive and not get down if we're down by a few goals.
The thing that I'm going to see this year, and Nick, not to mean to cut you off, but, teams have peaks and valleys throughout the course of the year. I would venture to say your team, and again, we start at the bottom of the mountain, and it's going to be a climb to the top where we don't see a drop-off. I would think, in your opinion, you're expecting that improvement every night on the ice.
Yeah, we do. We get better every day. We get better every day in practice. We get more knowledge about, the inner workings of our systems, and we continue to watch NHL clips, and we watch game clips from our games and from other teams, and we learn, sort of through that process to continue, like you said, climbing to get to that peak. I mean, we're a long ways from peaking, but we're definitely climbing upwards.
Well, that potential at least coming up this weekend for the Cheyenne Stampede is, again, I want to focus on a keyword that you mentioned, positive. Well, it's certainly a positive that now you get to play at home, so you at least a race now going away as you spent most of this offseason and now partial of the regular season on the road, but now back at home at the Ice and Event Center coming up this weekend, a 3-game set against a brand new franchise of the Dallas Snipers, a team that comes in 0-3, but how do you, at least we'll start, how do you size up this matchup coming up this weekend with the Snipers?
Well, I mean, we watched a lot of game footage. They've played El Paso 3 times. El Paso's a very good team, a lot like the Colorado Eagles. They got a lot of speed and skill. So we're kind of, we've been looking into their tactics on the ice, sort of what to plan for as far as the direction we're going to go with tactics. I think they can be a sneaky team. They have some talented players on the Snipers, and I think that if we sit here and overlook them because they're 0-3, we're going to get ourselves into trouble. So we're looking at this contest like it's going to be a tough one, and we're going to approach it just like we're playing any team like El Paso or the Colorado Eagles.
From a coaching standpoint, and again, you kind of shut yourself out, from what's out in the stands, and your focus is on the ice. But you as a head coach and this new breath of life with the Cheyenne Stampede unit that you have put together, I'm venturing to say, when you hear the hundreds of fans that are going to come out Friday, Saturday night, and those that make the trip out on Sunday, I'm sure, inside your body as well as these kids, that they're going to feel that roar. And again, I think that's just a little more adrenaline to get everybody pumped up.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I think, just me as a player, there's nothing better than, having the fan support. So, the other thing is the pressure's on for me because my old man's coming, and boy, I'll tell you what, he's my toughest critic. So, he won a national championship when he was a coach. So, the pressure's on. So that's the one I'm worried about.
Dang it, Neil! I need 3 straight wins. What happened there? You didn't get him to at least a shutout victory on that one? No.
Exactly.
All right, we're talking with Neil Breen, head coach of the Cheyenne Stampede.
Do want to talk about this weekend series again, at least Friday, Saturday, and Sunday here at the Ice and Event Center, taking on the Dallas Snipers. Fridays and Saturdays, 7:35 puck drop, 1 o'clock puck drop on Sundays as well. And again, tickets are sold at the door, but also too online at CheyenneStampede.com, as GM Mark Lantz did notify me that they are at least set up and ready to go to take those orders online for ticket sales this season.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. We'll come back. We will focus on one of our Stampede players, and we'll be back after these words here on 1480 KRAE.
Your locally owned and operated radio stations, KYOI-FM and 1480 KRAE AM, are just that, local, serving Cheyenne and Laramei County, where your advertising dollar stays local too. It doesn't end up in Colorado, Oklahoma, New Hampshire, or even New York. We conduct business here, we shop here, and we live here. And we support our entire community 24/7, 365. Just because it has a window dressing doesn't mean it isn't a facade. A reminder from KYOI and 1480 KRAE.
The skills you can develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you an edge in the high-tech job market of tomorrow. The Guard offers career training to take advantage of your skills in science, technology, engineering, and math that can help give you a leg up to a high-paying and rewarding STEM profession. Get a head start on your career while earning money to pay for college. Log on to NationalGuard.com to learn about all of the STEM career opportunities in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Wyoming Army National Guard. Aired by the Wyoming Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Cheyenne Urological has been the cornerstone of urinary care to Cheyenne and its surrounding communities for over 20 years, with doctors Bryant, Everett, Gajewski, and their highly trained staff providing top-quality treatment for prostate cancer, urinary tract infections, kidney stones, impotence, and incontinence. Cheyenne Urological is now offering cutting-edge robotic surgery. So call Cheyenne Urological at 635-4131 for compassionate, expert urinary care. That's 635-4131.
The next time you have a craving for authentic Mexican cuisine, visit Guadalajara at 1745 Del Range Boulevard. Locally owned and operated, they serve their dishes with family tried and true recipes with the freshest of ingredients, made to order. Start off your meal with their complimentary chips, salsa, and bean dip. And if you're feeling adventurous, enjoy your favorite margarita or cerveza. Guadalajara, where the spice is always nice.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
It's time to play the game. Put your money on the table. Come on. It's the one game you never,
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk Today. We are so glad we get one of the players to come on in and join us here now on our program as we are winding down for this Wednesday afternoon. Again, every Wednesday afternoon, it's Stampede Coach's Show. Thank you to Coach for bringing in our player. And Logan Syrup joins us here. Is that how you say it, Syrup?
Yeah.
And just like it, just like maple syrup, right?
Yep.
Where are you from?
I'm from Parker, North Dakota. It's way up north by Canada. We're about half an hour from the border.
So you're used to the snow that happens here around mid-October.
Yeah.
This is nothing to him, right?
Yeah, there's like a foot of snow on the ground back home.
Oh.
I've had it for like half a month now.
That just sounds
Almost
awful.
a month.
So what brings you to Cheyenne besides Coach recruiting you? No, actually, obviously, tell us a little bit how you came about coming down to Cheyenne.
The coach recruited me, and
I
we're
mean, you again,
Were
you
there
look at Cheyenne. Is Cheyenne like, wow, this is a step up, something to that effect?
Yeah.
Okay, you're a real talkative cat here.
Man,
dude,
a few words. I like it.
Relax. We'll make it easy.
We'll take
on
over
you.
the show, I guess. Anyway, so Logan and I, again, as we talk about at least coming out the Cheyenne Stampede, we'll talk about for this season for yourself. What goals do you have for the season? Whether it is hitting this amount of goals, at least for the season, hitting so many assists. I mean, what personal goals do you have heading into this season?
Top 10 in the league in points is what I was kind of hoping, and then I'll make it to the NAL for next year, the NAHL, and then get my college paid for to play hockey there.
Perfect. What kind of colleges are on your radar at this point in time? Anyone that kind of stands out to you, whether it's maybe Coach's old alma mater of Quinnipiac. I mean, what are we looking at? University of North Dakota? I mean, are there any that, if you had that shot, you would love to go play for?
Yeah, UND. It's
there you go.
Crazy there.
You know, talk about this year's team, Stampede, okay? You're playing with a bunch of guys that are new, that you haven't played. You know, again, you played up in North Dakota. A lot of these guys, your friends you grew up with. You know, you get together with a whole bunch of guys and you don't know each other. Is it a different feeling when you first step on the ice and start practicing with these guys?
No, it's not too bad. These guys are, like, we gelled really early this year. These guys are awesome. It's really fun meeting new people, too, and just playing with new guys from all over the United States. So.
All right, well, now you played Northern Colorado here this past weekend, one of the top teams in this division. So when you saw these guys for the first time, your impression of them, you know, obviously Coach was very happy how you guys got it together in the second period of game one. But when you first saw these guys, was it a little bit intimidating?
Yeah, I don't know. They're fast and they're skilled, so we got to come out and match that, and sometimes it can be tough, you know, getting off a bus and stuff, but we played well. We got it going.
So you get back to work this week practicing, and what did you take from that weekend series against Northern Colorado? You personally, when you're out there practicing, what do you need to get better at?
Just got to be faster. Got to play way faster because they're not slowing down for us, so we got to keep up and, you know, just being harder on pucks, getting pucks deep, hard on them, you know.
Just all the simple stuff that you need to focus on, at least coming up. Again, Cheyenne Stampede at home hosting the Dallas Snipers coming up this weekend. Before we let you go, Logan, just ask you a few quick questions. At least we'll get you on the NHL mode. Is there any player right now in the professional ranks, maybe past, present, you know, who you kind of look towards at least trying, not saying necessarily mirror your play style of, but someone that you kind of, quote-unquote, idolize in the NHL?
Yeah.
Who would that be?
Jack Eichel.
Jack Eichel, all right.
Yeah, he's sick, bro.
Now, you know, being close to Minnesota, are you a fan of the Wild, or do you have a favorite team?
The Sabres.
Buffalo Sabres?
Yeah,
and matter of fact, they're actually playing a lot better this year. They made some good moves in the offseason.
Sabres year, boys.
All right.
Yeah,
sounds
we'll
good.
About that.
All right, well, we want to thank Logan Sir for joining us here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Good luck to you, man, and hopefully good things happen for you here during your stay in Cheyenne. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with more after these words.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Good game, boys. You showed some real fight. Like when Wachowski put that hit on our own mascot. Solid work, son. Okay, Friday was for football, but Tuesday is for tacos. Taco Tuesday at Taco John's. It's a sacred holiday where we eat tacos repeatedly until I get full.
Save big every Taco Tuesday with crispy beef tacos for just 99 cents.
Get some rest, boys, because come Taco Tuesday, we olay the day.
Olay the Day at Taco John's.
I'm Mark Gordon. Jenny and I are grateful every day we live in this wonderful state. I'm not running for governor to fix Wyoming. I simply want to use my background in energy, agriculture, and small business to work for you to help manage our state government, to keep local decisions in local hands, and help clear a path for you to chart your own course and pursue your own dreams right here in Wyoming. Practical, conservative, Western values. That's what you can expect from me.
Paid for by Friends of Mark Gordon.
Due to our stormy season this summer, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Rogers' already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to jollyrogersrv.com.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne.
or call 635-3712.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be cloudy with snow likely throughout the day with highs around 33. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with snow likely throughout the evening with lows around 24. On Thursday, it'll continue to be mostly cloudy with rain showers likely with highs around 42. And on Thursday night, it'll be more of the same with mostly cloudy skies with lows around 28.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ball game. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
As we are back on Wyoming Sports Talk today, our final segment, we get to again talk with a member of the Cheyenne Stampede, assistant coach Heath Lantz. And again, Heath, you've been a part of this program since day one.
Yes, sir.
When it was announced as a franchise here in Cheyenne, and now that you have moved your playing days from the ice onto the bench right now, I guess first and foremost, once you aged out and you had that opportunity to stay with the program and be an assistant, tell me a little bit the difference of not being out there and now helping with Coach Breen.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more stressful being a coach. I realize that. As playing, you can listen to the coach, take all the tools, go out there and do it. But as the coach, you kind of got to sit back, give all the tools and say, all right, and then put it in someone else's hands to do it. And it's definitely a shocker at first. It's definitely something to get used to.
And there's probably no pressure as well too with GM Mark Lantz, at least your pops, breathing down your neck probably right now again as he's saying, hey, we got to win, we got to sell, and all this stuff. I mean, there's probably no pressure from your pops as well too.
None at all, none. But that was one thing he always said to me, hey, Heath, you pick up your game. We need a few goals here, and now I can't go out and try to get that or make it happen or create energy or whatever.
Now. With this team, and again, we throw out last season, stick a fork in it, it's done. Coach Breen has been able to, get the team put together with your assistants and, again, with everybody else. And you saw the fruits of the labor of this team over the weekend against Northern Colorado. Can you, as an assistant coach, and again, we already addressed that with Coach Breen, can you see that this team is going to start moving in that right direction?
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's going to be a good year. Even in our preseason games, we were really excited to see, the talent level, the culture, the character of the players that, Breen recruited all year or all summer, sorry. And it's going to be an exciting season, and the guys gelled really well together. We got a few more puzzle pieces that we're trying to put together to make it, completely full, but we're there.
If you have a specialty and as an assistant coach, what do you try to express to the young guys on the ice? And again, I remember you scoring goals. I remember you getting, players banged into the boards. What do you try to say, hey, guys, this is what you can do. I used to do this.
Yeah. A lot of guys think that to put up a lot of points and to be seen, you got to, do the highlight reel goals every single shift. And I try to, tell them, and I show them too. I wasn't a skill guy. I didn't have hands to stick handle around everyone. I was more of a power forward player. I used my big body. I drove wide, went to the net. I got the dirty goals. In front of that, just cleaning up the garbage. It wasn't always the highlight reel. Stick handle, make a deke through the defenseman, you're on a breakaway, and you score. So I really try to emphasize that to the guys. It doesn't take that stick handle highlight reel goal every time. It's getting in the corners, making the plays to make the dirty goals happen.
Would it be a fair assessment as well too for your Heath? Again, you've been from Cheyenne, and you've been a part of this organization. You know what to expect. You've been a part. Again, you've been in the ins and outs. Is that something where you could be kind of a figure piece, for instance, for a Logan Syrup, who's coming in from North Dakota, has no idea about Cheyenne, or at least this franchise? Again, you have other entities that are coming from Russia, Finland, wherever, all around the world. Is that something where you can be that kind of figurehead, that go-to person to assist of, hey, here's how to adjust to Cheyenne, here's where, resources for you if you need them, or anything like that?
Yeah, it definitely helps being, my hometown here. A lot of guys are always asking, for anything between, going to doctors to where's a good place to eat, stuff like that, advice. So a lot of guys do come to me for that, and, I'm fine to, give that advice.
With a lot of these young guys moving up a division, again, you've been here, done it. Yeah, I mean, you did it for 4 years before you aged out. The experience on the ice, how do you relay to these guys, hey, here's what to expect when you go to this level? Yeah,
that's a big shocker, too, jumping into juniors. I mean, you can have AAA experience, but juniors is a whole new game between, the refs just letting you play a little more. You have the age group of 16 to 20-year-olds, and even when I was a rookie coming in at 16, you go up against a 20-year-old, a guy that's, fully developed and going. It's a shocker at first, so you just tell them, keep your head up, make the smart plays. You try to prepare them the best you can, and biggest thing I tell them is don't play scared. You play scared, that's when you're going to get hurt.
Last year, final thought here, too, because I know we got to get going. And thank you. I want to thank everybody for being here today. You know it as well as I do. Talk about home ice advantage. Of course, last year we didn't take advantage of it, but this year it's a different story. These young men probably have never played before a crowd that they're going to possibly see here in the upcoming weekends.
Yeah, and even going off last year, we still had a great crowd, given our record. So, we tell the guys, we average 700-800 fans. We get the wins coming in the door. We can definitely bump that up to 12, 13, 1400 like we have in the past. So I think it'll definitely be a shocker. Hopefully they feed off of it, get momentum from it. I know I did when I played, because it's just a fun environment when we have a great community. They're behind us here, so it's definitely a fun place when we pack the barn.
Heath, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Assistant Coach Heath, Lantz, yes.
And do want to remind folks again, this weekend, Cheyenne Stampede hosting Dallas Snipers again, a 3-game series, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday and Saturday, 7:35. Sunday, 1 o'clock contest. Again, you can buy tickets online or at the door there at Cheyenne Ice and Event Center. So, again, go out, go support the Cheyenne Stampede coming up this weekend.
Bottom line, be there, aloha.
Absolutely.
Simple drill. Heath, thanks so much. Coach, thanks so much. Appreciate you coming on by. And, again, we got to get ready to wrap up our program here on 1480 KRAE. So, real quick, Nick, we want to remind everybody, on the way we have our Golden Age of Radio Theater, Red Skelton ×2 from 8 until 9. From 9 until 10, it's the